Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Last night on Monday Night Raw, the WWE presented a special tribute show, recognizing the career of Chris Benoit. However, now some 26 hours later, the facts of this horrific tragedy are now apparent. Therefore, other than my comments, there will be no mention of Mr. Benoit's name tonight. On the contrary, tonight's show will be dedicated to everyone who has been affected by this terrible incident. This evening marks the first step of the healing process. Tonight, WWE performers will do what they do better than anyone else in the world: entertain you.
That audio you just heard and this photo signifies the darkest day in the history of professional wrestling, when WWE superstar Chris Benoit was found dead in his Atlanta home next to his wife and young son. The case was investigated as a double murder-suicide, and professional wrestling fans all over the world were shocked. But why did Benoit do what he did? Was it that he was a monster? No. Was it that he was a bad person? No. He was a family man. He loved his family. And June 24th is also the same day as WWE's pay-per-view Vengeance Night of Champions, and Chris Benoit was scheduled to be in a match on the show. He was scheduled to face CM Punk for the ECW World Championship. Punk was there, ready to go. Chris Benoit, though, was not. He was dead. WWE caught wind of this during the show. Not the fact that he was dead, the fact he wasn't there, and he was replaced with John Morrison, and those watching on TV were told it was due to a personal issue. Prayers were sent out hoping that he was okay and that whatever had happened, he was alright from. But the next day, wrestling fans were shocked. They opened up Monday Night Raw to discover that Chris Benoit was dead. That's right, he had passed away. Everyone was shook. They did not know how to react to the news, because originally, the June 25th episode of Raw was meant to be a tribute show to Mr. McMahon, who had, in a storyline, had his limousine blown up and was dead. However, Raw opened up with Vince McMahon in the ring, saying that Benoit was dead, and that the show was changed to a 3-hour tribute show recognising the career of Chris Benoit. You had sit-down videos from people like Triple H, John Cena, Edge, and in particular William Regal, all paying tribute to Benoit. Triple H saying, "I'll miss you, my friend, I'll see you down the road." John Cena calling him individually one of the best of all time. Edge referring to him as someone that he could go and talk to if he had an issue. But Regal, on the other hand, he wasn't exactly the kindest. Regal, in his interview, said that he wasn't willing to say anything about Benoit other than that he was the most intense and focused man in wrestling. And WWE didn't really know what to think of this. Until half an hour until the end of the tribute show, WWE found out that Chris Benoit had murdered his wife and young son. The next night on ECW, Vince again opened the show, saying that last night on Raw, they recognised the career of Chris Benoit. However, 26 hours later, the facts of the horrific tragedy were now apparent. So, other than his comments, there would be no mention of Benoit's name again. And since then, WWE has changed a lot. For many, it marks the end of one of the greatest eras in the history of professional wrestling. From 2002 to 2008, the Ruthless Aggression era. On July 24th, 2008, WWE went PG, just over a year after the Benoit tragedy. June 24th, 2007 is a day that will forever be remembered in the history of professional wrestling. Many things came out of this: suspensions, new rules, but at the end of the day, one of the best wrestlers of all time passed away, and 2 innocent people were killed. So I'm going to end off the video with this. Chris Benoit was one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. And R.I.P. Nancy Benoit and Daniel Benoit.